Hey everybody, Buzz here for a special episode of the Kayfabe OrDie news. Normally Johnny and myself are recording our Raw and SmackDown recap, but with everything going on in the world, that's obviously affecting everybody, but it's also affecting professional wrestling and the way WWE does things. The last couple of shows just hasn't been a ton to really go over, so we decided not to do an episode, Raw or SmackDown recap episode today. Another reason, over on our horror channel, on the Gorecast channel, we've been doing the hashtag Keep On Streaming Streamathon, where about an hour and a half every night we were trying to do some Facebook live streams, just to try to, get everybody's mind off of everything that's going on in the world. And tonight I am not on the streaming schedule, so I figured while I'm not doing that, I will add some content to the Kayfabe OrDie channel, so that's why I'm doing the news. There's a couple of stories to kind of go over in regards to, a lot of it's WWE related. One little story from AEW to go over, so I will get into that in a minute. But before I do that, if you want to follow us on our social media accounts, we are available on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Kayfabe OrDie. You can listen to our podcast. We are available on Spotify, Google Podcasts, and Apple Podcasts. Excuse me. And if you want to watch our videos, we are on YouTube. Just type in Kayfabe OrDie, and you will find us. Johnny and the Giz, should still be doing the regular Friday Kayfabe OrDie podcast, which is normally over on our audio channels. They normally cover NXT, NXT UK, and AEW Dynamite. So as of right now, they should be still having an episode, but also a lot of that depends on if we have episodes to talk about, because at least especially for WWE, from what I'm hearing fairly recently, that the city of Orlando is talking about going on a shelter-in-home ordinance, which is what my state currently, Michigan, is going through, to where all non-essential people are forced to stay home. So there might be a chance that we might not have NXT, because WWE is going to be more focused on getting WrestleMania filmed, recorded in the next couple of days, because WrestleMania is taking place on April 4th and 5th, a week from this Saturday, so they might not be able to get NXT in, but we'll see. So, going into this week's news, a little bit of AEW news. Tomorrow was supposed to be the Blood and Guts event. AEW still will be having a show, but the Blood and Guts match itself will not be taking place. They postponed it because they just wanted, it's going to be such a big match. It's a match that they've been promoting for the last couple months, and they didn't want to have it on their empty arena shows. They wanted to save it for the big audience, for a big match like that. The crowd reaction, everything is key, so they want to save that for down the line, when they can start getting back into the swing of things with having fans at the shows. So tomorrow's AEW event will go on as scheduled, just without that one match. One match that I did hear that is going to happen is Kenny Omega will be defending the AAA title. I don't remember who he's going up against off the top of my head, but I know he's defending the title, so Johnny and the Giz will give you guys a recap of that on Friday. Going into the other show that happens tomorrow, NXT, as long as they're able to record it. Triple H is supposed to be on NXT tomorrow. He's supposed to address Gargano and Ciampa after their altercation a couple weeks ago, where they pretty much, and my poster's falling. Good content, internet. I'm not getting up, because literally this is the fourth time I tried to start recording, so you guys are going to have to deal with the poster hanging down, because I ain't getting up right now. I'll get up, but I'm not editing wise. Ciampa and Gargano. They destroyed the Performance Center, they destroyed themselves, and Triple H is going to yell at them pretty much. Also, it was said today that the next couple of episodes of NXT on USA will be having the matches that were supposed to be at TakeOver Tampa, but since that event has been canceled, they're just going to have the matches on the next couple episodes of NXT. But when searching Wikipedia to see what matches have been announced so far, there have literally been no full matches announced. The NXT women's ladder match, the number one contender ladder match, was supposed to be, was the only match that had been semi-announced, but all of the competitors haven't been officially announced. Chelsea Green, Tegan Knox, and Mia Yim are the only three that have been officially entered into the match. So I'm not sure who is going to fill in the rest of the spots. We should hopefully find that out tomorrow, as long as, like I said, as long as NXT is going to be on. Other matches that I have a feeling will happen, but I mean, just going off of storylines that they've already been building up. Obviously, just mentioned Gargano and Ciampa most likely will probably happen. Adam Cole and Velveteen Dream probably for the NXT heavyweight title. The North American Championship will most likely be on the line. It'll probably be Keith Lee defending either against Damian Priest or possibly a triple threat, adding Dijakovic. And then kind of the same thing with the men's tag titles. Cruiserweights probably against the Grizzly Young Veterans, or possibly a combination of the Grizzly Young Veterans and the Undisputed Era. So not 100% sure, but hopefully by tomorrow we should find out what the matches, some of the matches. I don't know if they're going to go with all the matches. Those are the only matches I can really think of, is because the NXT Women's Championship will be defended at WrestleMania, so that's not going to be on there. Balor and Walter probably will be saved for TakeOver Dublin, or possibly another TakeOver, depending on if they're able to do TakeOver Dublin at the end of April. So a lot of that's up in the air. So we'll see what the next couple of weeks brings us in regards to NXT and the matches that were supposed to take place at TakeOver Tampa. Ooh, that was like a tongue twister. So let's get into the WWE main roster news. As I said, WrestleMania will be taking place Saturday, April 4th and Sunday, April 5th, the first time ever that WrestleMania will be 2 nights. They were said to be recording the show the next couple of days at the Performance Center, but we'll see what happens, because I know from what I heard shortly before recording that the city of Orlando might be putting a shelter-in-place ordinance in the next couple of days, which means all non-essential people will have to be staying at their homes. So that could be preventing from WWE from taping, which is why I was kind of talking about the NXT thing, because I'm not really sure what they're all going to be able to tape in the next couple of days, because they also are trying to tape Raw and SmackDowns. So not really sure what's going to be available for WWE past this week. A couple of the matches that got announced over the last couple of shows with Raw and SmackDown. Friday night we did have the SmackDown Live Women's Championship match announced. It was supposed to be a six-pack challenge, but one of the competitors, Dana Brooke, will not be in the match now, because I guess she was feeling ill, so she has been put in self-quarantine, so that has taken her out of the match. So it will be Bayley versus Naomi versus Sasha versus Lacey versus Tamina for the SmackDown Women's Championship, and I believe it is a SmackDown Women's Championship. I believe it is the elimination match on top of that. So that was a match that got announced. This Friday, we are supposed to be having number one contenders decided in the SmackDown Live Tag Division. The Usos will be going up against the New Day, and the winner of that match will go up against the Miz and Morrison for the SmackDown Live Tag Team titles at WrestleMania. Also, Daniel Bryan has a shot at the Intercontinental Championship at WrestleMania. Will be on the line this Friday when Shinsuke Nakamura goes one-on-one with Drew Gulak. If Gulak wins, Daniel Bryan gets a shot for the Intercontinental title at WrestleMania. And then Rob Gronkowski came out at the beginning of the show, which got Baron Corbin to come out, and Gronk pretty much set up a match between Corbin and Elias for WrestleMania, which was officially announced last night on Raw. So those three matches, two for sure, with the one not knowing for sure who the challengers are for the SmackDown Live Tag Team Championships, and the Women's Championship is a for sure match. The other one that's not for sure but most likely will happen is Bryan and Zayn, but we'll find out Friday if Gulak ends up beating Nakamura. So going into Raw, the only match that was officially announced, and it was a match that obviously we all knew was happening, but didn't get officially announced because he finally accepted, was Randy Orton versus Edge, the last man standing match. That officially got made last night. Also, AJ Styles and Undertaker's match is now a Boneyard match, which AJ Styles talked about it like we knew what the match was, but we don't know what the Boneyard match is, so I guess we'll be surprised at WrestleMania to find out what the Boneyard match is. And then we had the announcement of Bobby Lashley versus Aleister Black. And then we also had the announcement of the Street Profits defending the Raw Tag Team Championships against Andrade and Angel Garza. Now that is a little bit of a story there in itself. Original plans for the Raw Tag Team Championships was supposed to be for AOP to be challenging Street Profits, but because of the injury to one of the AOP members towards bicep, he's going to be out for a while. They weren't obviously going to be able to have that match. And then also, from rumors are saying that it was originally supposed to be Andrade versus Mysterio for the U.S. title, or some form of maybe a triple threat, maybe with Garza, maybe a fatal four-way with Carrillo. But there was something that was supposed to involve Andrade, Mysterio, and the U.S. title. Well, that isn't going to be happening because Rey Mysterio is also in quarantine, so he won't be able to make it for WrestleMania. So they kind of were like, all right, well, we have two matches that we can't have because of one of the components aren't there, so we'll combine them, and that's why we're getting Street Profits versus Andrade and Angel Garza. So Raw was okay. It was more of a promo show. If you really like promos, there were some really good promos. Seth Rollins had a really good promo. Orton had a pretty good promo. Heyman had a pretty good promo at the beginning. Baszler had a decent promo. So a lot of promos, but like I said, they're pretty good. And then we did have three matches. We did three matches. The best match, obviously, there's not a lot to pick from. Angel Garza and Andrade went up against Cedric Alexander and Ricochet, which was it was a really good match. The only other match was the Street Profits against a couple of NXT guys, and then Aleister Black went up against some guy, I have no idea who he is. Other than that, they had the promos, and then they had two match replays. The one was from Royal Rumble from a couple years ago, with Seth Rollins versus John Cena versus Brock Lesnar for the WWE Championship, and then they replayed Charlotte Flair and Asuka from WrestleMania 34. So, like I said, it was an okay Raw. If you're really into promos, you should give it a watch. I watched a little bit of it this morning, and I watched a little bit last night after we did our stream. But other than that, not too much to really watch. That's, like I said, one of the big reasons why we're not doing the review podcast. Last thing before I leave, I'm going to go over the current card for WrestleMania. Now, none of these matches are in any night order because now, like I said, WrestleMania being 2 nights, April 5th and 4th, or 4th and 5th. there's going to be 2 nights. So, but none of the matches as of right now, or at least that it's been released, has been a set in stone order. But these are the matches so far. We have the Raw Tag Team Championships when the Street Profits defend against Andrade and Angel Garza. The SmackDown Live Tag Team Championships will be on the line when Miz and Morrison defends against either the Usos or the New Day, whoever wins the number 1 contendership match this Friday. We have Aleister Black going one-on-one with Bobby Lashley. We have Elias going one-on-one with King Corbin. We have the NXT Women's Championship on the line when Rhea Ripley defends against the 2020 Women's Royal Rumble winner Charlotte Flair. The Raw Women's Championship will be on the line when Becky Lynch does a challenge. She defends her Raw Women's Championship against Shayna Baszler. The SmackDown Live Women's Championship will be in a 5-woman elimination match when Bayley defends against Sasha Banks, Dana Brooke, Tamina, Naomi, and Lacey Evans. Randy Orton battles Edge in a last man standing match. Undertaker goes one-on-one with AJ Styles in a Boneyard match. John Cena will battle Bray Wyatt, The Fiend. For the WWE Championship, Brock Lesnar defends the championship against the 2020 Men's Royal Rumble winner Drew McIntyre. And for the Universal Championship, Goldberg defends against Roman Reigns. So those are the matches as of now. Like I said, wouldn't be surprised if, from what I was hearing, there could be a possibility that Dolph Ziggler and Otis have some form of match, either one-on-one or a tag match, with Heavy Machinery versus Rude and Ziggler, most likely. And then also, hopefully we find out this Friday that Bryan will be going up against Sami Zayn for the Intercontinental Championship. Those are the only other 2 matches that I know of for sure that could happen. Other than that, I think everything's been pretty much announced. So that will be WrestleMania taking place April 4th and April 5th. Too big for one night is their now new tagline. Like I said, hopefully it should be recorded here in the next couple of days. And then will take place those 2 nights. It's gonna be interesting. Doesn't feel like WrestleMania season anymore after everything's been going on, but who knows what they got planned. I know they were saying that they were possibly filming at other locations to film more cinematic aspects for certain matches, so they're going to try to pull out some stops now that they can't do the show live. They're going to try to do something to make it worth everybody's while to watch it. Also, another thing that broke today, the WWE Network is actually free, like not like free for a month or whatever. They're expanding their free option of their library now. Obviously, with everything going on, people being quarantined and stuff like that, this might be a good time for people to watch some wrestling, some backlog, some old manias, some of the specials and stuff like that. So WWE, probably also with the fact that they weren't able to have WrestleMania the way it should be, or it was supposed to be, they might try to make up for it with having the network free, or some of the libraries it's free. I don't think the entire network is free. I think there's some stuff that I don't think you'll be able to watch, but to my knowledge, a good chunk of it is going to be available. So if you don't currently have the network and you just want to kind of just take a look at it, give it a shot, watch some old manias, and get yourself pumped for what is to be a very, very odd WrestleMania coming up a week from Saturday. So until then, like I said, Friday, Johnny and the Giz should still be doing the NXT and AEW recap show. Any news that happens between now and then, or anything that comes up the next few days, weeks, whatever, just follow our social media accounts on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at Kayfabe OrDie. We will keep you updated there. If you want to listen to us, we are available on Spotify, Google Podcasts, and Apple Podcasts. And then if you want to watch us, we are on YouTube. Just search Kayfabe OrDie for all of that stuff. And until next week, buzz out.